Hey everyone, and welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling personal selling and sales promotion.
Two crucial elements of marketing.
Absolutely. And you know what makes this deep dive even better? It's brought to you by Grade Guru.
They have a fantastic website, gradeguru.nl, with practice exams and full summaries.
Yeah, it's a game changer for exam prep. But before you all rush off to check it out, let's unpack these topics.
Sounds good.
So, first things first, what exactly is personal selling? I feel like most people have a story about a pushy salesperson or one who totally blew them away.
Yeah, we've all been there. But personal selling at its core is about building relationships.
Okay, so it's more than just making a sale.
Much more. It's about understanding the customer's needs and then offering solutions that truly fit.
So the salesperson is kind of like a matchmaker.
I like that. Connecting the right product with the right customer. That's why their role is so important.
They're like the bridge between the company and the customer, right?
Exactly. And that bridge goes both ways.
Oh, that reminds me of something I read about a salesperson at a tech company. Customers kept complaining about this one software feature.
Oh, yeah.
And instead of ignoring them, this salesperson took those concerns straight to the developers.
Interesting.
And they ended up redesigning the whole feature based on customer feedback.
That's a perfect example of how salespeople can influence product development. They're the eyes and ears of the company.
Makes sense. Gathering those customer insights. Okay, let's talk about managing a sales force, which sounds like a whole other challenge.
It can be, for sure. First off, you've got to figure out the structure of your sales team.
Like, how do you organize them?
Exactly. Do you go geographically, by product line, or maybe focus on specific customer types?
So, like, if you're selling software to businesses, you might have a team dedicated to just healthcare companies.
Right, a customer-focused structure.
Okay, got it. Then there's the question of team size.
Absolutely. How many salespeople do you actually need?
Too few, and you miss opportunities. Too many, and your costs go through the roof.
It's all about balance. And there's this method called the workload approach that can help.
The workload approach, I've heard of that. Is it, like, super complicated?
It can be. Essentially, you analyze the amount of work required to manage different accounts. Larger accounts might need more dedicated attention, so you'd assign more salespeople there.
Right, makes sense.
While smaller accounts could be handled by a smaller team or even remotely.
So many factors to consider. And I bet technology is shaking things up here too, right?
Absolutely. Think about the traditional idea of inside versus outside sales. Outside salespeople were the road warriors, always traveling.
Yeah, I get it.
Inside sales were more office-based. But these days, those lines are getting blurred.
With all the video conferencing and online tools, I can see that.
Exactly. Now, you can have inside salespeople building relationships and closing deals all over the world, all from their desk.
It's crazy how much things have changed.
Yeah.
Speaking of change, what about team selling?
Yes, team selling. This is where you bring in specialists from different departments. You might have marketing, engineering, even finance all working together to land that big client.
So it's a more collaborative approach to sales.
Very much so. Okay, you figured out the structure. Now it's time to build that dream team, right?
Recruiting. And I bet finding top sales talent is no easy feat.
It's tough. Companies are looking for a unique blend of skills. Sales aptitude, analytical thinking, communication skills, you name it.
Sounds like a tall order. How do companies even find these people?
It's a mix of strategies, traditional job postings, networking, even those specialized recruiters who headhunt top talent.
Once you find them, how do you make sure they actually succeed? Training, I'm guessing?
Absolutely. Training programs equip salespeople with the knowledge and the skills they need to excel.
I'm seeing more and more companies switching to online training too.
Makes sense. It's cost-effective, flexible, and you can reach a global audience.
Okay, you've trained your team, but how do you keep them motivated?
Motivation is interesting, right? It's a mix of internal drive and external rewards.
Yeah, everyone wants to feel valued.
Exactly. And a good sales manager creates an environment where salespeople feel appreciated and recognized for their contributions.
And of course, there's the compensation side of things.
Right. Money talks, but it's not just about throwing money at the problem. A well-designed compensation plan is key.
I see. What does that look like, typically?
You usually have a fixed salary for stability, plus variable components like commissions or bonuses tied to performance.
So hit those targets, get a bigger paycheck classic.
Exactly. But there's also a growing trend towards rewarding long-term customer relationships.
Interesting.
Companies are realizing that customer loyalty is golden.
Makes sense. Okay, so how do sales managers actually keep track of everything that's going on? spreadsheets for days.
Thankfully, no. Salesforce automation systems are a game changer. These platforms streamline everything.
So less admin work, more time closing deals.
Precisely. Speaking of closing deals, let's talk about the personal selling process.
The process. Yeah, there are steps involved, right?
There are. It's a journey, with each step leading to the next.
Okay, walk us through it. Where does it all begin?
It starts with prospecting and qualifying. Basically, finding those potential customers who are a good fit for your product.
So you're kind of like panning for gold, sifting through all the dirt to find those golden nuggets.
Great analogy. You have to determine whether a lead is actually worth pursuing.
So you don't waste time on those who are never going to buy.
Exactly. And there are so many ways to do this. Networking, referrals, online research, all sorts of tools and techniques.
Okay, so you found a good lead, you've qualified them. What's next?
The pre-approach. This is where the salesperson does their homework, gathers information about the prospect before making contact.
It's like prepping for a big presentation. You want to be prepared and knowledgeable.
Exactly. Research their company, their role, even their personal interests if you can. The more you know, the better you can tailor your approach.
So the pre-approach is all about laying the groundwork for a successful interaction. And then what?
The approach. That crucial first interaction.
First impressions are everything, right?
Absolutely. This could be a face-to-face meeting, a phone call, a well-crafted email. It's all about making a positive first impression.
Got it. Building rapport, establishing credibility.
Right. Okay, you've made that great first impression, now what?
Now it's showtime. Time to show them what you've got.
Exactly. This is the presentation and demonstration stage. You get to tell the value story, how your product or service solves their specific problems.
And I'm guessing storytelling is key here.
Absolutely. A good story can make all the difference. And remember, focus on the benefits. Don't just tell them, show them.
Demonstrations, visuals, the whole 9 yards.
Right. But let's be real, even the best presentations will face objection.
Objections, yeah. Concerns about price or features, maybe.
It's totally normal, and handling those objections effectively is a crucial skill.
So what's the key here? How do you deal with those objections?
Active listening. Acknowledge their concerns and address them with empathy.
It's not about arguing.
No, it's about working together to find a solution that works for everyone.
Okay, so you've addressed the objections, the prospect is interested. What's next?
The close. That moment of truth. Time to seal the deal.
Any secret techniques for making that happen?
No magic words, but there are some effective closing techniques. One is the summary close. You recap the key benefits and then ask for the order.
A gentle nudge in the right direction.
Exactly. Another good one is the alternative close. You offer a choice between two options, both of which lead to a sale.
Sneaky. But I imagine reading the prospect's cues is crucial too.
Absolutely. Knowing when they're ready to commit, it's a subtle dance. Okay, the deal is done. Everyone's happy. Is that the end of the story?
Surely not. What about follow-up?
Follow-up is essential. It's about ensuring customer satisfaction and building those long-term relationships.
Right, because a happy customer is more likely to come back for more.
Exactly. And they might tell their friends, too, becoming walking, talking billboards for your brand.
So follow-up can involve checking in, offering support, just staying in touch.
Exactly. It shows you care about their success, not just making a sale. So the personal selling process is a continuous cycle.
Constantly building those relationships. Wow, we've covered a lot of ground here, from building a sales force to the intricacies of closing deals.
It's a fascinating field.
It really is. And don't forget, if you're feeling overwhelmed, GreatGuru.nl has your back.
Practice exams, summaries, all the resources you need to ace those marketing exams.
Exactly. Now, before we move on to sales promotion, one last question. How do you think e-commerce and online marketplaces will impact personal selling in the future?
That's a tough one. While technology is definitely transforming how we buy and sell, I believe the human touch will always be important.
So, building trust, understanding complex needs, those things technology can't replicate.
Exactly. Even in the age of algorithms, there's still a place for those skilled salespeople who can connect with customers on a human level.
Makes you think. Okay, let's take a quick breather, and then we'll dive into the world of sales promotion. All those tempting offers that make us click buy now.
Sounds good. It's true, those limited time offers and targeted ads are sneaky. But there's a reason companies are so focused on sales promotion.
Yeah, it's not just about random discounts, right?
Right. Remember we talked about how there's just so much marketing out there these days?
It's overwhelming.
Companies need to grab attention somehow.
So sales promotions are a way to cut through the noise.
Exactly. They create that I need this end of you feeling.
There's a flashing neon sign.
Exactly. And then the second reason is the fast-paced business world. Companies want to see results, and they want them fast.
So sales promotion gives them that instant gratification.
Right. But there's also a downside.
Which is?
Promotion clutter.
Promotion clutter. Right, I remember you mentioned that. What is it exactly?
Yeah. Basically, it's when consumers are hit with so many deals and promotions that they become numb to them.
They lose their impact.
Exactly. And it makes it even harder for companies to stand out.
So how do you break through that clutter? Create a promotion that actually works.
It's tough. You need to be creative, strategic, and really understand your target audience.
Makes sense. Okay, let's talk about the different types of sales promotion. First up, those consumer promotions.
Yeah.
The ones aimed at us, the shoppers.
Right. These are all about encouraging that immediate purchase. One classic example is the free sample.
Oh yeah, free samples. Love those. Especially for new products.
It's a great way to let people try before they buy. No risk involved.
Like when they were giving out samples of that new protein bar at the gym.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was delicious. I was hooked after one bite.
See? It works. Then there's the good old coupon. Been around forever, but still effective.
Especially for budget-conscious shoppers.
Absolutely. And speaking of saving money, there are rebates.
Rebates, yeah. I remember my dad used to love those.
They can be great for bigger purchases, like electronics or appliances.
Right, when you want those bigger savings. Then you have those 2-for-1 deals or those special bundles.
Price packs.
Price packs, right. They always get me. It feels like you're getting so much value.
They encourage people to buy more than they initially planned.
Well, if I'm getting 2 for the price of 1, might as well stock up.
Exactly. And who can resist a bonus gift?
Oh, those premiums. They make the purchase feel so much more special.
Especially when there's something you actually want.
Like that free makeup bag I got with my new moisturizer.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then there are point-of-purchase displays, the ones strategically placed near the checkout.
Oh, those get me every time.
They're designed to trigger those impulse buys.
Just one more thing.
Exactly. Then there are the more interactive promotions, like contests, sweepstakes, games.
Those are fun.
Hmm.
Everyone loves the chance to win something.
And finally, there's event marketing, sponsoring concerts, festivals, sporting events.
A great way to connect with consumers on a more experiential level.
Right, create those positive brand associations. Okay, we've covered consumer promotions. Now let's move on to trade promotions. These are the ones aimed at retailers and wholesalers.
So encouraging them to stock your product and promote it to their customers.
Exactly. One common tactic is offering discounts for bulk purchases.
The classic win-win.
Right. Retailers get a lower price and manufacturers move more product.
Makes sense. What about those allowances? I've heard that term before.
Allowances are basically financial incentives for promoting a specific product.
So like giving it more shelf space or
Yeah.
featuring it in their ads.
Exactly. It encourages them to give your product some extra love.
Okay. Then you have free goods.
Oh, yes. Buy 10, get one free, that kind of thing.
Always a good incentive.
It encourages those larger orders. And then we have push money.
Push money. What's that?
It's a cash or gift incentive given directly to salespeople to, well, push a certain product.
Interesting. So it motivates those on the front lines to really recommend your product.
Exactly. Okay, last but not least, there are business promotions, the ones targeted at other businesses.
How are those different?
Well, they often focus on things like generating leads, rewarding loyal clients, motivating their sales teams. Many of the same tactics apply, but the approach is more tailored.
Got it. And things like conferences and trade shows fall under this category.
Yes, they're a great way to network, build relationships, and showcase your products to a targeted audience.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of different sales promotion tactics.
From consumer deals to strategies for businesses.
And it's clear that sales promotion, when done right, can be super effective.
Absolutely. But before we get into developing a successful sales promotion program, let's talk about something that I find particularly interesting: social selling.
Social selling, yeah, that's
Yep.
a whole other beast. Using social media to build relationships and drive sales.
Exactly. It's about meeting your customers where they are.
So it's not just about blasting out sales pitches on Twitter and LinkedIn.
No, definitely not. It's about building trust and credibility.
So sharing valuable content, answering questions, being helpful.
Right. It's about being a thought leader, not a pushy salesperson.
I like that. But how do you actually put social selling into practice?
Well, it starts with building a strong online presence. Create those professional profiles, share relevant content, engage in industry conversations.
Showcasing your expertise.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to let your personality shine through. People buy from people, right?
Definitely. Authenticity is key. Okay, you've built your online presence. What's next?
You can start reaching out to potential customers. But avoid those generic sales pitches. Nobody likes those.
Oh, how do you approach them?
Personalization is key. Research your prospects, understand their needs, and tailor your message,
Makes sense. Show them that you understand their challenges.
right? And when you do reach out, focus on starting a conversation. Don't push a sale right away.
Ask questions, listen to their responses, be helpful.
Exactly. Social selling is all about building those human connections, even online.
Okay, so we've talked about social selling. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of the personal selling process itself.
The roadmap to sales success.
It all starts with prospecting and qualifying,
Mhm.
finding those potential customers.
Yes. It's like casting a wide net and then figuring out which fish are worth reeling in.
You don't want to waste time on leads that are never going to convert.
Exactly. And there are so many ways to prospect these days. Networking, referrals, online research, all sorts of tools.
Okay, you've identified some promising leads, you've qualified them. Now what?
Now it's time for the pre-approach.
The pre-approach. That sounds important.
It is. This is where the salesperson gathers information about the prospect before making contact.
So it's all about preparation.
Right. Research their company, their industry, their role, their pain points. The more you know, the better you can tailor your approach.
And with so much information available online these days, it's easier than ever to do that research.
Exactly. A good salesperson knows how to find those valuable insights and use them to connect with the prospect on a deeper level.
Okay, so you've done your homework. Now it's time for the actual approach.
The first interaction. This is where you make your first impression.
And we all know how important first impressions are.
They really are. The approach could be a face-to-face meeting, a phone call, an email, even a LinkedIn message.
So many options.
The key is to be professional, respectful, and engaging.
And adapt your style to the prospect, right?
Exactly. Some people prefer a more formal approach. Others are more casual. A good salesperson can read the room, so to speak.
Okay, you've made a good first impression. What happens next?
The presentation and demonstration. This is where you get to showcase your product or service.
The big reveal.
Right. But it's not just about listing features and benefits. You need to tell a story.
Storytelling. Yeah, that's so powerful.
It helps people connect with your message on an emotional level and focus on the benefits. How will your product or service make their life better?
Make it real for them.
And whenever possible, show them. Don't just tell them. A demonstration can be incredibly persuasive.
Okay, you've given your presentation. But then what happens when those objections inevitably pop up?
Objections. They're a natural part of the sales process.
So how do you handle them without getting defensive?
It's all about active listening. Acknowledge their concerns and address them with empathy.
You're on the same team, trying to find a solution together.
Exactly. Sometimes an objection is just a request for more information. A skilled salesperson knows how to get to the root of the objection and address it effectively.
Okay, you've handled the objections. The prospect seems interested. It's time for the close.
A moment of truth.
Any tips for closing the deal?
Well, one classic technique is the summary close. You recap the key benefits and then simply ask for the order.
Like a gentle reminder of why they should say yes.
Exactly. Another effective technique is the alternative close. You offer them a choice between two options, both of which result in a sale.
Sneaky. But I bet reading the prospect's cues is crucial here, too. Knowing when they're ready to commit.
Absolutely. It's a delicate balance. Okay, you've closed the deal. Everyone's happy. End of story.
There's got to be more, right? What about following up?
Follow-up is so important. It's about ensuring customer satisfaction and building those long-term relationships.
Right, because a happy customer is a loyal customer.
Exactly. And they're more likely to refer their friends, too.
So follow-up could involve checking in, offering support, staying in touch.
All of that. It shows that you care about their success, not just making a sale.
So the personal selling process is a continuous cycle.
Building relationships, delivering value, exceeding expectations.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground here today. From building a sales force to closing deals and nurturing those customer relationships.
It's a complex but fascinating field.
It really is. And if you're studying for those marketing exams, don't forget about gradeguru.nl. They have all the resources you need to succeed.
Practice exams, summaries, everything.
Okay, so before we move on to sales promotion, one last question. How do you see e-commerce and online marketplaces impacting the future of personal selling? Is the human touch becoming obsolete?
That's a great question. While technology is definitely changing how we buy and sell, I believe that human connection will always be important.
Building trust, understanding those complex needs.
Exactly. Those are things that technology alone can't replicate. Even in the age of algorithms, there's still a place for skilled salespeople who can connect with customers on a human level.
It's something to think about. Okay, let's take a deep breath and then we'll dive into the exciting world of sales promotion.
All those irresistible offers that make us click buy now.
Okay, so we just talked about social selling, and now it's time to get into sales promotion. You know, all those deals and offers that tempt us.
It's like a marketing magic trick. Suddenly you need to buy something.
But as we discussed, there's a strategy behind it. It's not just random.
Right. We were talking about how much marketing is out there.
It's a lot.
So companies need to find a way to stand out, right?
Sales promotion is that way to cut through the noise.
Yeah, they make you think, I gotta get this deal before it's gone.
Like a limited time offer. Makes you act fast.
Exactly. And don't forget, companies want to see results and they want to see them fast.
Instant gratification.
Yeah, right. But there's a downside to all of this.
We talked about it before.
Promotion clutter.
Right, promotion clutter. When there are just so many deals, it's overwhelming.
And they lose their power.
Consumers become immune to it all.
Exactly. So how do you break through that?
Yeah, how do you create a promotion that actually works?
It's tough. You need a good strategy, creativity, and a real understanding of your customer.
Okay, let's dig into the different types of sales promotion. Starting with consumer promotions. Those are the ones aimed at us, the shoppers.
Right. And the goal here is to get us to buy. A classic example, free samples.
Oh, free samples, the best.
Yeah.
Especially for trying new things.
Yeah, no risk involved. Try it before you buy it.
Like when they're giving out those little cups of ice cream at the grocery store.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a new flavor, one bite, and I was sold.
See, they work. And then there's always the good old coupon. It's a classic for a reason.
Especially if you're on a budget.
For sure. And speaking of saving money, we've got rebates.
Rebates. My mom used to love those.
They can be great for big purchases like appliances or electronics.
When you want to save some serious cash. And then there are those 2-for-1 deals or special bundles.
Price packs.
Price packs, right. I fall for those all the time. They make you feel like you're getting a great deal.
You are getting a good deal, but it also pushes people to buy more.
Yeah, it's like, might as well stock up while I'm at it.
Exactly. And who doesn't love a little bonus gift?
Those premiums, they make you feel special.
Especially if it's something you'll actually use.
Like that free travel-size lotion I got with my perfume.
Perfect. And then, of course, you've got those point-of-purchase displays strategically placed right as you're about to check out.
Oh, those are dangerous. So tempting.
They're designed to trigger those last-minute impulse buys.
Just one more thing.
Exactly. And then you have those promotions that make it a game, contests, sweepstakes, you know.
Those are fun. Everyone loves the chance to win something.
And finally, there's event marketing. Sponsoring a concert or a festival.
That's a cool way to connect with consumers. Create a good experience they'll associate with your brand.
Right. Okay, now that we've covered consumer promotions, let's talk about trade promotions.
Those are the ones aimed at businesses, right? Like retailers and wholesalers.
Exactly. You're trying to get them to stock your product, to promote it. One way to do that is offering discounts for bulk orders.
Makes sense. The more they buy, the less it costs them.
And you sell more product. A win-win.
Right. What about those allowances I've heard about?
Allowances are basically financial incentives for promoting your product.
So, like giving it prime shelf space or featuring it in their ads?
Exactly. It encourages them to really push your product.
Okay, and then there's free goods.
Buy 10, get 1 free, that kind of thing.
Always a good deal.
It incentivizes bigger orders. And then there's push money.
Push money. What's that?
It's basically a bonus for the salespeople. You give them cash or a gift to encourage them to really sell your product.
Interesting. So it motivates them to push your product over others.
Exactly. Okay, last but not least, there are business promotions.
The ones aimed at other businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the same tactics apply, but the approach is more targeted. Think conferences, trade shows.
Right, those industry events where businesses can network and showcase their products.
Exactly. It's a great way to connect with potential customers in a focused environment.
Okay, so we've covered the whole spectrum of sales promotion. from consumer deals to business strategies.
It's a lot to take in, but it's a vital part of marketing.
Definitely. Well, that wraps up our deep dive into personal selling and sales promotion.
We covered a lot today.
We did. From building a sales team to crafting those tempting promotions. And don't forget, if you're studying for your marketing exams, gradeguru.nl is a fantastic resource.
Practice exams, summaries, everything you need to ace those tests.
It's like having a secret weapon for exam prep. So keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the world of marketing.
Until next time.